Hey, well, hello everyone. Thank you for joining on this June 11th Stars of Akarios live stream. Guess I'm looking up there. There's the camera. I got YouTube, Facebook, everything's open. And Adam starts with the biggest question of them all. What is the answer to life? Uh, what is the answer to life, the universe, and everything? Um, I guess 42 might be the answer. But enough of the Hitchhiker's Guide. I actually just read the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy a couple years ago for the first time. Way funnier than I was expecting it to be, and just enjoyed it. So here we go. A little bit of housekeeping before we kind of get into what I want to talk about today. First of all, there is a big package of sample goods coming my way today. It shipped and I'm tracking, and I was hoping to have it this morning so I could show it for everyone. But we got the box, we got some punch outs, we got just some card. I don't know if we have cards, but progression pads. We have we have a lot of cool stuff, and so I'm excited about that. Excited about all of the just kind of the physical goods to show. Juan, what a pity I lost the Kickstarter and the PM. I hope I will be aware when the extra copies are on the store. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Juan. You can pre-order right now. There's a link below in YouTube, in our link tree. So yeah, sample deliveries coming. We have this week we finished the scenario book, which is crazy. There's a couple mistakes or whatever that we're going to kind of clean up in our kind of proofing process here when we get the copy back. 200 pages, guys. 200 pages in the scenario book. Big deal. And just chatting with Marv, one of our graphic designers, is that our rule book is finishing up. He's saying noon, and this is so exciting. I'm excited for this. We're going to send it off to the printers, and there's going to be kind of a host of edits in between there as well. But we want to kind of get the process with the printer rolling, and really quite exciting to kind of get into that. And so that kind of leads me to what I want to talk about today. And this actually came up from a Discord discussion. And I don't know the person's name, but on Discord they go by Civleb. And Civleb asked about the raids. And if you remember, way back in the Kickstarter over a year ago, I was talking about this idea of raids, and kind of taken from the kind of MMO world of these kind of repeatable events where you can kind of grow and level your character through these kind of specific one-off events that you can kind of keep on going back to. And this is something that I was like, hey, I was keen on. I was getting into it, and unfortunately for the core box experience, I'm sorry, but it has ended up on the cutting room floor. And if you're familiar with game design, often there's a host of ideas, and there gets to a point where it's like, okay, we could continue to implement these ideas and basically delay the release of the game almost inevitably, because there's always new ideas. Or there has to be something where it's like, okay, you know what, this is a good idea, but we can't include it quite yet. And what I mean by yet is that there's we're planning on digital content release, and there's going to be some free content for Kickstarter backers. And so I'm hoping that we can kind of incorporate this raid idea, including like some other neat ideas to have, like a battle simulator, into the app itself as like a kind of a free scenario release. And that's kind of like the big thrust of it. And the reason, there's just so much content in the game. Right? I don't even know if I was anticipating the amount of like just quality stuff. There's so much stuff. and so to add a whole other kind of layer of gameplay with raids was a little bit out of scope. And with that to say, though, there some aspects of the game that actually feel very raid-esque. The conclusion of the game is kind of a prime example. I'm not going to give it away, but it's this linking kind of scenario, and there's world exploration involved, ship exploration, and there's combats. There's kind of exactly what I pictured like a raid would be. Is kind of like this conclusion of the game, big boss battles, really cool stuff. And so, I'm hoping that there's going to be room for it in the future. And yeah, apologies that that's something I think is a cool idea isn't going to be in this core box. I know there's probably some who were looking forward to getting that in. Couple other questions here. And again, feel free to ask questions about anything like that. So, we have a handful of questions. Adam is asking, how are you going to handle, should something unfortunate happen, any damages from shipping, if at all? Yeah, don't quote me on this, but I believe we're going to have some replacement parts. We're going to try to do good by our backers. We know how much money you spent and how long you've spent waiting this game, and I would be sad if something happens where you get a game that's not not complete. Right, we got to fix that. Mithrandir 404 is talking about that we reopened GameFound last week so we could add to our orders, but the site says I'm unable to add anything to my pledge. So Mithrandir, do you have you already pledged, or do you just have a $1 pledge? You would have to have already pledged, and if that doesn't work, can you email hello@oomgames.com, hello@oommgames.com, and we can hopefully get it to you there, figure out some stuff. Daniel Fink, who is creating Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy Raid with the content creation tools in the app. I want to play that, so somebody do it. Speaking of the app, I jumped back into the app, and I'm kind of doing a bunch of tweaks and, getting our developer to kind of work some stuff out with it. This is great, guys. We have lots of questions. Maybe this is the time to do live streams, 8:45 a.m. on a Friday morning. Okay, here we go. So Adam has another question. I know the Copilot cards won't have art, and some of us discussed making stickers with character portraits, myself included. Is there a chance of getting a spoiler-free list of species for Copilots? Yeah, that's cool. Adam, sorry, I'm quiet because I've actually never thought about that. Yeah, let me just make a note of it. I need to make a note of it somewhere so I don't forget about this. Spoiler-free list of species for the co-pilots. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't mind that idea at all. Okay, Josh saying, I'm pumped to play this. I love the exploration functions and the fighting styles. Awesome, Josh. Really happy. He's also asking if you have any physical Shoto shoe. I'm not too sure what that means. Physical photo show? We have I think there's the box that's coming today with a bunch of goodies. Some of our dual layer boards and stuff. And so I'm happy. I'm going to take some pictures and show it to everyone. So message has been retracted. Crystalis on YouTube is asking, what is your favorite mini out of the lot, or what's been your favorite part of development? Okay, favorite miniature. I was actually just taking some photos. Let me grab a couple. Okay, here we go. I have two that I really like. I love the sparrow. I think there's just something really cool with the sparrow. So here we go. Oh, it's focusing on me. Yeah, look at this. I love the sparrow. Let's see if it can focus. Autofocus. Come on, sparrow. No, my camera is too good. It focuses on the on the face. So love the sparrow. Sparrow's really cool. And then also these are like the big ships. The UIA are not really like it's just a cool looking ship. Got a little bit of like Battlestar Galactica vibe, I think. As far as player ships go, you know what? Everyone who's seen me play the game knows what I'm going to draw. It's just a classic. I love the Merkava. Sorry, hard to. There we go. Love the Merkava. Just like, I don't know, there's just something cool, timeless about this one. Really like it. Really like that one. Okay. Yeah, so chatted a little bit about, translations are beginning. This is great, big news, right? This is a big book to translate, so we're jumping right into it. I think rulebook will be after the scenario book for translations. Just a second here. I had somebody, I think somebody posted a question in Oh, okay. So James posted a question somewhere else. He's saying, okay, so the raids, at least for the initial physical release. Yeah, so with the app, we're planning on releasing content digitally. We're still kind of figuring out exactly how to do that. We've promised to Kickstarter's free content through the app, at least initially, and we're gonna toy around with a lot of that stuff. And so I think that's the avenue to release like kind of a potential raid aspect with kind of escalating difficulties and some unique components, because it's going to be really easy to use what we have, the components with what we have, and to translate that into other kind of gameplay elements. There is a ton of customization and like modability with the game, and I'm excited for all the different game modes that are going to come up and people are going to create. Really excited for it all. Okay. It's interesting with Facebook. It's never a straight list of questions. It always it shows the responses in an improper way. So hey, neat thing with this, working on getting the Stars of Akarios live stream kicked out to podcasts. For some reason, iTunes sent me back a message saying that there's some sort of infringement, which is weird because we own the rights to the Akarios world and the artwork and all that stuff. Conrad Dargo is asking if there is going to be anything new in the Tabletop Simulator. Yeah, so I'll be honest, Tabletop Simulator, I love what we have out there. It might be just a bit before we spend some time to update it, and I'll probably get Ken to update it with the final assets and probably the miniatures as well. Just because right now I kind of want to just like breathe a bit and TTS, love TTS, but like usage rate, it's not incredibly high, and so we're gonna do something with it. but I just want to do it right and do it well. And for me, I'm not the right person to do it, and so I'm going to hire that out. But I want to make sure that everything's finished, and the errors that we fix on the sample production, we can actually just get that in TTS. So I imagine a couple months. Connor, I feel like I've uploaded all 9 scenarios, like world exploration scenarios, into the scenario book, or sorry, into the TTS mod. I'm not even too sure what I'm using for the TTS mod and what others are using. I know the scenario book, I guess, actually hasn't been updated for that. Yes, you're right. Crystalist is asking a little bit about the app. And for the app, the planned release is kind of when people get the game. We're hopefully running a beta before that. But the app will have kind of like a digital version of the scenario book, and including a content creator, so people can kind of create their own scenarios and share them all with the world, because I think that's just super great. Carlos is asking if the full game will be available on TTS. You know what? I'll probably just like all of all of the physical content, the ships, the enemy decks, all that jazz, except probably the for storyline. I probably will just upload prologue and act 1 into the book, but then everything else will be in there. So if people wanted to create custom scenarios with whatever, they can. Absolutely. Adam Kuzek is asking if extra campaign and character sheets will be made available as PDFs. Absolutely. So each of the packs are like 10. The pads are 10 each. And we're going to just release all those as PDFs, and the scenario book and the rule book all as PDFs. So it'll be easy. And Josh is asking if we're still on track for release in October. I hope so, Josh. There is a lot of stuff going on with manufacturing overseas at the moment, and so I'm hopeful, but shipping and manufacturing is kind of in a weird spot, and so it's uncertain at the moment. It's just uncertain because the world is recovering from a 1.5-year pandemic. And I think it'll take a little bit for things to get back in order. So, when we know, we'll let you know. But that's kind of just where we're at right now. Hey team, well, this is great. This has been fun for me. I have to jet, but I have loved interacting with you online. Love that you are a part of the Akarios community. And so thanks again. And if you missed this, well, I guess you're here. But if you missed this and are tuning in later, thanks. And I hope you have a